viewers, my name is Victor Ogbenka and you are welcome to another exciting edition of Talking Sport. There has been a lot going on in the transfer market all around the world. You know how it is with summer. And right, we want to look at what some of the clubs have been doing, very busy in the market, and of course, some people have been very, very careful in their bargains. I have with me in the studio Wande Shokumbi. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
What do you think? I know you must have been really excited. Look at your smiling.
Very excited, my brother.
You bought just one player. How you feel?
Two. Don't reduce it for me. It's two.
Yeah, you got two players. Everybody else.
Two.
Everton has five already.
Five. That's Everton.
Wait. Let us even pick it up from Everton. Do you think with what Everton is doing in the market, they made a lot of money from Lukaku's sale? How much impact do you think that's going to happen in the club?
I don't feel like they've downgraded. I feel they've been upgraded.
I don't understand. One Lukaku is equal to 5 players.
They got 5 players, and then look at the quality of those players.
Okay.
They have Classy, who's a striker.
Yeah.
They have Henry Onyeko, the
Upcoming.
who can play.
That is not going to. That guy is not going to
And
get
they
into
have
the team immediately. Okay, Rooney.
They have
Rooney for Lukaku. Is it
I feel they've got the better deal for me.
than United?
I feel Rooney is still, even though he doesn't score as many goals, he didn't score as many goals as, but he's still a top player. And then I still have a problem with Lukaku's first touch and his style of play generally.
Okay. Now you see in the transfer market this season, it turned out that the highest amount they spend on the player doesn't guarantee success. We've been seeing players with outrageous price tag and begin to wonder what has happened to football. Lukaku 70 million.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the ones that of last season and the season before.
Like,
Martial.
Okay, and eventually look at what they turned to.
Exactly.
Okay, but now Lukaku. I'm not saying Lukaku not getting another 30 goals this season.
He could get those goals.
He's likely going to get those goals.
But then you don't just count the goals. You also count when you score the goals against who. What time do you score the goals when you are 1 goal up already?
Does it matter?
It matters.
Why?
If you are a striker and you don't score important goals, you might end up with 30 goals and still finish where Everton finished.
How does that two things now? It might not just be a good one for you as a striker, but it's good for your team.
It's good for your team, yes.
Yeah, it's good for your team.
No, it's good for you. It's good for you, not good for your team.
It's not good for you because naturally it reduces your market value. You know how they always talk about Ronaldo and some other players not being a big match player. You know, so it might affect you as an individual, but it doesn't take anything away from your team.
Well, it happens like that sometimes. But if you look at it for the case of Lukaku, his team finished 7th or so in his league.
Yes.
He scored the highest number of goals.
Okay.
Or second highest
number
of goals, and then you see the team bought him 70 million. Why did that psychology of the scored against small teams count?
Okay, now let me tell you, if you remove all those goals from him, where do you think they would fall?
They would have been lower, quite alright. But if he had scored those goals where it really mattered, he could have finished somewhere like 3rd.
Okay, now let us spare Lukaku a little because we are going to be looking at some of what the first teams and and the real contenders are getting. Liverpool, a lot of cries, they broke their transfer window. What's wrong with you? Yes, and that one player is equal to what? It's equal to another top 4 next season, guarantee.
Well, I feel like it's a good buy for Liverpool.
Okay.
It's not where you needed him most. I feel like you will have Liverpool will have done better. Will do better if they assign a top striker, centre forward. We
are not done. That's just we just got started.
We are talking about what has happened now.
Okay.
What has happened.
Okay, but as it stands, let me tell you what you should consider in this transfer market. Everybody's trying to hold on to their best players. Top clubs are looking for quality players. They just don't want to go all with the normal Liverpool price. You have 70 million, you buy 70 players. No, it's not going to happen that way again. So what you do is, anyone that you think is available for grab, you just go about it anyway. Right now, we have a lot of other players that we are trying to look into, but what has it turned to? It is still stale at the moment. You have Lacazette. Lacazette is not the only player that you're expecting to come to your team. But now, you have Lacazette and then you have Giroud. I don't know what is going to happen to that lineup. And of course, they are both top players. So what's going to happen to Arsenal's formation next season?
Well, we are going to be playing in several competitions. The same number of competitions, but then now they are going to play in Europa. Europa has.
I agree with you. You are playing more competitions because Europa gives you more games naturally.
So we need all hands on deck, really.
Wait, I'll ask a question. Do you see yourself winning Europa?
I've won Europa as I am like this. I've won it. If for any reason I wake up from this dream,
Okay.
come this time next year and somehow I'm hearing that Arsenal hasn't won it, I'm just going to drop my resignation. I'm going to resign, tender my resignation for.
I'm going to pick you up on this really because I'm seeing Europa as a more delicate, dangerous, tougher game to play
Than Champions League.
Yes,
No.
the Champions League because you are playing with elites. You know, it's just like the way you see a rich man spend his money. He spend money with succor, with belief, you know, because he knows that it's my money anyway. But when you see someone that is just making money, they just want to blow everything and make all the noise. That's what happens with Europa. You have people that have they are champions wannabe, you know. So they are too rough about their approach. They are very physical. Europa, you play with tactics.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I don't see Arsenal as one of them, a traditional Europa club.
Well, we are not. Same thing for Man U and they came with the champions.
No, they have a coach that is mentally ready if they don't have players like that. They have a Mourinho. Your coach is a conservative.
Well. You have a point.
That's true.
You have a
That's
point.
true. And I think that's going to really play against
But
Arsenal.
the way I look at it is, we've played competitions in
Okay.
the Champions League where we play teams that are Europa League standard and then we dismantle them.
Okay.
Talk about Olympiacos, talk about those other small things that you play in the group stage
You don't play the
and the
young
playoffs. Playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, no, but I'm not playing those ones. I don't see how those ones will come against Arsenal.
Okay, I'll get on the point. Okay, so let us look at Chelsea. Chelsea has been really slow in the market, you know, very disappointing. They couldn't get Lukaku. I know they would have loved to get that guy. But right now they are Morata. Would it be a good consolation for them?
It's difficult to say.
Because
The reason is Morata is a top striker. He's all right.
Okay.
But if you look at his kind of style and the kind of style Chelsea plays, he's probably going to fit because he's the kind of poacher striker that just stays in the box and he has Hazard and the others.
Okay,
to play
so
to him.
they don't have Lukaku. I mean, they don't have Morata yet, of course.
Yeah, I'm just
okay, but they are likely.
If they
But already they have a defender, Antonio Rudiger.
yeah,
What do you think?
it's not necessary for me.
But Terry left, so they need that. That's a vacuum.
Okay, well, I get you.
And of course, Terry left and went to Aston Villa.
Yeah.
What is it thinking? What happened?
What else would I have gone to? He's still in London.
You
I'm
can
sure they
just
found
stay and join the backroom staff of Chelsea.
He's not. They have not finished playing his football.
At what age?
At 35, he still has, there are people that play up to 40.
How many of them?
There are not too many, but
But those ones that played, but how good were
but
they?
wait, just imagine that you still have 3 more years to play in your life. I'm just saying, imagine.
Okay.
And then because you want to, I don't know, he's not going to get in as much. I don't think
60,000.
if he's going to be in the backroom staff. No, I'm saying if he goes to
Okay, if he goes to Chelsea.
So Terry joining the backroom staff, you probably not be earning as much when you can still play. That's
Okay.
1. And then 2, playing for Everton is going to be tutoring some
Aston
young
Villa.
players. Sorry, Aston Villa.
Yeah.
You're going to be tutoring some young players.
Was that his plan? Did you think that was the plan?
I don't know his plan, but it makes sense to still, rather than go to USA or China or something, you can still give back to England as someone that is a legend in his right.
Okay, now let us look at Tottenham. Tottenham has been 100% quiet and I don't know, they might be doing
Just say
some
quiet, mute.
I don't know what is happening. Tottenham is a team I'm really careful and I think I have soft spot for Tottenham and
You're annoying me.
I know you don't like to hear that, but
I don't like to hear it.
Tottenham is the next big team in England.
Next big team, after
Yes.
the big teams.
It's not such a big team. That's what I'm
What do you
saying
mean
about.
by next big team?
They are the next big. They will just be the next champion. How about
Of Premier League.
that? Yes.
That's how they've been.
No. They've not been like that. They've been growing.
They've been growing.
Yes, they've been growing. And as a
From-
matter of fact, I would say Tottenham is my own most consistent team. I prefer Tottenham to Man City.
Well, this argument is what Arsenal fans would have said before they lost out of top 4.
Okay.
Consistency. It doesn't give you anything. You can be consistent and not win anything.
Consistent. What has that been consistent in doing?
Being top 4.
No, that's not the kind of consistency we're talking about.
What kind of
When you are consistent.
the consistency that Tottenham has is the consistency of being among the top teams and not win anything.
Is Everton a consistent team?
No.
Yes.
Okay, they are consistent,
Where they
but
are.
their consistency is lower. Yes,
It's
they are
consistency.
consistent. Yeah, exactly.
Now we are talking about Tottenham. Tottenham has even. I won't even say Tottenham is consistent because if you talk about consistency, it makes them look as if they've been going on a flow, on a parallel flow.
Yeah.
No, they've actually been increasing because you see them coming from 5th and then suddenly they go 4th, and I think this is their 3rd season in Europe. Yeah, they've been playing European football, you know, more than ever before. And
Now look at it this way. they have been consistently increasing.
Yes.
Consistently increasing.
Yes.
But do you know it's possible that you get to a point where you don't get to the top or you fall back, which is something is likely to happen to them. The way they are quiet in the transfer market.
Let me ask you, what would you say that is missing in that? Yes.
Well, you can't really point out anything because honestly,
it's like a near perfect team to me.
Yeah, they're a very good team.
So why do you just have to sign because it's transfer window?
But if your opponents are increasing, you have to also increase. It just makes mathematical sense.
What if they're just Tottenham is second place and they're running so that means we are all the other teams that are below Tottenham is just trying to increase to meet up with the likes of Tottenham. How about that?
What about if they've increased above Tottenham?
Which one player are they bringing in? Rooney going to Everton?
No, forget Everton. Look at the teams that finished around them. Liverpool finishing fourth, Man City finishing third, and even the Chelsea that finished first still spending money.
Okay, so I know they will actually get something, but what I'm beginning to look at
is it when everybody has moved around, they will not start looking for who to buy?
Well, they probably don't need. You know, let me tell you the difference between.
Let me sorry to cut you short.
Okay.
Have you ever thought about it that probably the coach doesn't have anybody he can sign, anybody he can lure to the team?
That is not true. What do you mean they lure to anybody to the team? If an Arsenal that is not playing Champions League football could get the like of Lacazette,
Arsenal has the name.
Tottenham has the name.
Tottenham has a name.
Yes.
In where? In England.
The football they are beginning to grow.
They don't have a name. I don't see someone like who do I want to call now?
Would Lacazette have gone to Tottenham?
He could have. Because he doesn't really.
Is that not one of the best strikers we have in Europe?
Well, he's not A-list. But one kind is not A-list.
Would Aubameyang have gone to her? Then
no. That's a good name to
As a matter of fact, Aubameyang look like a typical Tottenham player.
He could fit their style, but it doesn't mean that he doesn't. There's a time that someone said, I think Daniel Alves mentioned something that before he came to play against Man City when he was still at Barcelona, he didn't even know that there were two teams from Manchester. He said something like that. So you think Aubameyang, his agent comes to him and says, "A team wants to sign you," and he said, "Okay, let me," and he said Tottenham. I'm sure he'll be like, "Oh, Tottenham, West Tottenham."
I don't agree. Tottenham is as popular as every other club at least in the past 5 years.
I disagree.
Are you saying if a club refuses to sign a player, any player in the transfer market, do you think that is a bad that would affect their finish?
Yes. If your opponents, your rivals, people you are competing with are signing and they are upgrading, you have to upgrade too.
I want you to look at it from this angle. The difference between when you are signing for what you actually think is a deficiency, in your team, that you want to cover up. You could be signing to have a squad player.
Yes.
Those are backup players when you have a lot of games
yes.
to play. You could be signing because you think you need quality in the team.
Yes.
In the case of Liverpool now, they need some more qualitative players. In the case of Arsenal now, you need more squad players. So that they'll be able to go around whatever you think you are doing. For Tottenham, they have a confirmed and a very strong
team that can do well in Premier League.
That can do well. That
can repeat.
Okay, I think I get your point because they've not really been a success when it comes to European football.
Exactly.
But what is their pursuit? What do they want?
If you are pursuing Premier League, I don't know. Well, it doesn't just make sense that you now.
Is Southampton playing the Premier League because they want to win the trophy?
Not likely.
Is Tottenham playing the Champions League because they want to win?
Not likely.
Okay, so sometimes what they have in mind is different. You understand? You might just go to make numbers, just what Arsenal have been doing for the past year, just to make numbers, and then that is what is playing now.
Well, you're making a different case for us.
Let me leave Arsenal in that case. You said you're winning Europa. I'm waiting for you. Let us look at other countries. Spain, Italy, PSG.
They've mostly been silent.
They've been very, very silent, and we see players moving from Liverpool to England and all sorts of players. Mbappe for 100 million. How do we talk about transfer window without mentioning Mbappe? 100 million pounds.
That one is not even the annoying thing. Mbappe for 100 million is probably worth it because of
at what age?
The age. No, it's actually because of the age.
At what age? At what age? You start signing a player for 100 million.
He has a lot of years.
That gives
recover that money.
Okay.
But and then he's a fantastic player. You can't do that from him.
Since when have you started? When the player is 19 years. Since when have you been playing?
There's no way you're going to look at Mbappe and not tell me that he's fantastic.
I don't agree. Mbappe is a fine player last season. That's just all I saw.
Yes.
Fine player last season doesn't mean a fine player worth 100 million.
There's nobody you want to buy for any amount and you are sure that he's going to reproduce that cost. Because for these football owners, it's mostly profit.
Okay.
Is he going to make the money back?
Okay, well, maybe one way or the other.
But
well,
the one that is annoying me now
okay.
is Lemma. Thomas Lemma. I don't know what that guy brings to any team. I don't know what he would likely bring. But a team like Monaco is offering to sell someone like that for almost 80 million.
Okay, just like you said, you know, another thing you want to put into consideration is what team is selling what player. Monaco is a rich team. You agree?
Yes.
So, what do you want to entice them with? You have to entice them with big money, so they're one of their most prized player out.
No, it's not even for the. It is not for the team now, the club right now. It's for the player. The players that are playing for Monaco, do they feel successful? Do they feel achieved staying?
They want the league.
They want the league, but trust me, none of them is happy or will likely want to keep playing at Monaco for the rest of the
Finals. All they just need to do is to get to. They were at the semi-final last season. Don't forget, in Champions League. All they just have to do is to get to the final, or maybe just win.
No, there's something about the traditional names in football.
Okay.
Monaco had once been there, but
Yes.
they lost out, honestly. And then I don't see anybody, any player, any young player saying, my dream team is to play for Monaco till I retire. I don't see that.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, you know, sometimes what turns a player to a flop is when you get a player, a 19-year-old player for 100 million, he gets to a big team. He starts taking the pressure. You know, and all those start playing out, and at the end of the
But
day,
these clubs don't.
Ronaldo would not have succeeded for 100 million if he were at 19.
These clubs don't care.
They
They
don't
want to
care.
make their money first, and secondly, I want to sell my most prized possession. You have to bring out all. I don't care what it costs the player, whether I'm going to become a flop in future. Give me my money now.
But do you make that money in one season? If I'm selling a player for 5 years, I should have a 5-year plan of making 100 million too. Yes. But we don't always say it like that. We just always want to judge them on the first season. And if he doesn't play well that first season, we think he's a flop.
Yeah.
I'm talking about flop. You know the way they refer to a player like Mohamed Salah at Chelsea as a flop.
Yeah.
I don't really agree with things like that.
Why won't you agree with it?
How many matches did he play?
It doesn't matter.
It matters.
It doesn't matter.
You must have exhausted your patience. Just the way I said, it is only an Arsene Wenger that will tell us that a player is a flop. You know why? Because he gives you all the time in the world to settle.
No, it doesn't always. We don't always see that a player is a flop. It's not always every time that a player is flop from first team football. You could be misperforming, playing rubbish from the training, and then you don't even get the chance to come to the first team to show the world.
I don't agree. That is wrong. You know those
Very
that,
possible.
how about those ones that do so well when they play in the training and they come to the big screen and they flop?
Well, that's a possibility. It happens that.
So you know,
But he performed in the training, and then he's coming to flop. He's now misperforming on the big field on the first.
one day,
You are misperforming.
one day, let us look at it from this way. Like I said, for example, tell me what are his attributes? What makes him stand out? Okay, okay, is it about just
Pace, technique,
okay,
positioning.
fantastic. Now you have a player like that, and you know you are putting like 50 million on that player, and you now told me that he got to the training ground and he didn't play well.
It's possible now.
So you now say because of that, where was that pace? Does it vanish with,
No, wait,
you know,
wait.
with his lack of performance in
And
training?
that's not where you're going.
So
You are
it doesn't
wait,
follow.
it doesn't work like that for coaches. You are looking at it from the eye of the fan. You have spent so much. The club has spent so much money. You should just bring him into.
No,
the
that's not my argument. My argument is you don't say because he didn't do so well in training, then you want to keep him on the bench. You know that all these players came up with them. They have a natural attribute. A training could be, it's just like you're preparing for an exam and you didn't top your, you know what they say about examination, that it's not the true text, you know, for the student. And that means that when we are in training, a player plays and you think it doesn't perform so well, then you conclude that it's not good enough for the team and you start resting it.
If you have two players that can play position,
Yes.
you are in training, they face against each other, or even play in the same team,
Yes.
and then one outperforms one.
Yes.
You now tell me because of sentiments.
No, not sentiment.
The sentiments really.
No, not sentiment. What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, it still boils down to the fact that the player has some unique characteristics that could win a match for you, that made you consider him for that team in the first place.
Well,
You are playing now, for example. Okay, now look at Giroud. Giroud had come in to be a super sub for the better part of last season, and he performed.
yes.
It was probably not being started because he was not playing well in training.
No.
Why? Because of the formation and everything.
Tactics.
Okay, the tactics works
Tactics,
against it.
yeah.
Okay, now it is just the same way it works. You have a lead of one goal. He's not performing well in training, but you know that he can shield the ball. You know, you are sure that he can hold the ball and keep opponents away. And it is 85 minutes. You need that kind of player.
When you are talking about in the case where you only have probably 2 players that can play one position. Bring in one for the other. You are losing.
It may not be one for other.
No,
it may be tactical decision also.
Or tactical decision. But that's not probably what happened for Salah. Salah's case was.
Are we talking about Salah?
Yes, it came from Salah, of course.
But if I touch it, okay, I remember what you said. Salah is going to give us the best value for money. That's just what I want you to know.
Get me. What I'm trying to say now is, at Chelsea, you're trying to tell me that he wasn't a flop. And I'm trying to prove to you, he had almost 4 people that would play that wing.
Okay. He was 21.
He was young.
He was growing, exactly.
As a matter of fact, after leaving Chelsea
to
Roma, his first season, I'm not sure.
He went Fiorentina on loan.
There's a period of time, not even for club now, when he played for country, I think.
Everybody flops when it comes to African football.
Exactly. So to tell me that he was not a flop, and you now think that to me is a flop, but to think that he's going to perform based on his performance for it, it doesn't go well with me. He's like he could flop this season.
No, there's no chance he's going to flop this season. He has what Liverpool needs, and that was exactly
what does he have?
He has pace, he has the tendency, he's exactly going to give us what we missed in Mane when he went for African Nations Cup.
Now,
that's just what I want to
understand. But thank God you've not mentioned that because he has played in Premier League before.
No. When he played in Premier League, he was not.
He didn't. He didn't exactly.
But he was not a flop.
Depends. It's relative. But what I'm saying is, it's not going to count for him. Internship at Premier League before will not count for him this season in Premier League.
Okay.
So that's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Well, with everything unfolding, we are going to see more buys. I'm sure Liverpool is not done. Arsenal is still trying. Spurs are still coming with something different. Of course, we have Barcelona. We have everybody. It's still going to be a very, very busy one now. We have about 50 days to go in, still in the transfer market. So it is still as fresh as ever. Yeah. And then we'll see how this turns out. I want to say thank you very much for staying with us on this episode, and it's been a very, very exciting time. Please bring your comments in and all your contributions when necessary. Thank you for watching.